All right, everyone. Welcome. Betu Washte, Madakiapi, Tahilapi, Maniwi, Amachiapi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jillian Wan. I am the Director of Storytelling at Sicangu. We are now recording. I just wanted to start this online event off with much gratitude and thanking each and every one of you for joining us today, where you'll get to hear from our directors who are hard at work in the community. And I will say that there is so much amazing work being done here. So it's going to be a little difficult to share the impact of our ecosystem within just 1 hour of time, but I hope you can let this serve as an opportunity for us to elaborate a little bit on our ecosystem and continue this relationship that we cherish with each of you here today. Thank you. Thank you again for joining. If you have any questions throughout this presentation, you can put your comment and question in the chat. If we are unable to answer your question through the live session, you can definitely expect a follow-up from Brandy. To get us started, I would like to introduce to you Sarah Hart, who is the director of Lakoya Waonia, which is a Lakota language revitalization program that we have here within our ecosystem for adults. And she will actually be sharing with you how we received our name as the Sicangu Oyate. Sarah, can you please turn on your camera and join?
Yes, I'm Betu Ashte. Just wanted to start it off with a prayer before we go into the story. So just take a moment. Tukashwa, Wankantanka, Unchimaka, Na, Tata Doka. Tukashwa, I pray for Wamankashka Oyate, for we chose Ani, Woke, Wangwake. Tukashwa, I pray for Unchimaka, for we chose Ani, Woke, Wangwake. Pray for the Ochaki Shakaway Tunkashwa, for we chose Ani, Woke, Wangwake. Tukashwa. I'd like to pray for Sicangu Ko, Tuahe, for we chose Ani, Woke, Wongwake, Wopila, Midakyase. So I'll go in a little bit into the story of why we are called Sicangu Oyate, which is the Burnt Thigh Nation. So originally, our people were called, when translated, is the people that wore blue medallions. They were moving camp one day, and they used to send scouts out to make sure that there were no enemies, that the path was clear and safe for the people to move. So they sent out scouts to scout it out, and when they returned, they reported that there was a fire ahead. And so the leaders got together and they decided that they were going to wait it out, and in hopes that the wind would change course, and the fire would go the other way. Unfortunately, the next day that didn't occur. The fire was continuing to come, and at this point, it became a point of evacuation. People had to get out of the way of the fire. They got caught in it, trying to outrun it. And back then, our people moved as one. Individualism didn't exist. And so when we made a move to do something, we did so as one. So as we were trying to outrun this fire, the elderly people realized that we were not going to leave them behind. There are knowledge in our history, in our culture. So the elderly people decided to tell the warriors and anyone that was able-bodied to get across the fire at the smallest area to cross it. Those that could outrun it to outrun the fire. And when one of the elderly ladies poured water on her dress, and she took her dress off and she wrapped her takoja up in the dress and gave her takoja to one of our warriors and asked him to cross the fire and take her takoja to the other side. And so to carry this name, Sicangu Oyate, it's an honor. For one, because of what our people did to ensure that we are alive today, that we are still here. And some of our warriors and those that crossed the fire were burnt on their thighs. And that's where the name Burnt Thy Nation came from. So, but it also shows the importance of our future generation and how important that was for people to make sure that we survived into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. I mean so much to hear that story from you every single time. And I know that we carry a lot of responsibility and pride with this name. Next, I would like to introduce to you our CEO, Clay Colomb, who has some great words to share with you.
Thank you, Jillian. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, that story is powerful. Love hearing it over and over again. I'm glad we got to share that today. Hi, I'm Clay Colomb. I'm the CEO of the Sicangu Co ecosystem. I am a Sicangu citizen, born and raised here. Also Nimipu on my mother's side. Really glad to have this opportunity to connect with everybody. You know, the work, the donations that come in help this amazing team that we have continue to do the work that we do. There's a lot. We're doing a lot. We're doing great things, but there's still so much more that we can do. And, you know, without everybody that you're going to hear from today, it wouldn't be getting done. A lot of young, motivated Sicangu tribal members. Also, you know, people from around the country. It's great. We're building a great team. And I just want to again express the thank you to all of the donors that help make this happen. And with that, I'm very happy to let some of my, again, great team tell you about the work they're doing. Thank you.
Oh, I got to turn my camera back on. All right, so now that you've heard from Clay, I'd like to give you a little more information on the community that we serve. We are located in South Central South Dakota on what is known as the Rosebud Sioux Tribe, which is on over 882,000 acres of land. If you could go to the next slide, Erin. In this slide, you can see here the community that we serve and why it's so important for us to do the work that we do in a way that we know is best. We have 34,000 citizens here on the reservation with a life expectancy of 68 years old, as opposed to the US national average, which is 78 years old. Our median income here on the reservation is $22,655 with an unemployment rate of 83%. So you can see the statistics there. And as you heard from Sarah, we have a responsibility as an Oyate to look ahead for the future. So it is actually within our tribal governance that we develop a plan that we recognize the decisions that we make today will impact the next 7 generations. And so that is exactly what we do here in our work. Those statistics that I shared above aren't going to be, they're not going to look like that for much longer. And after this presentation, you'll actually see just how wealthy we are as Lakotas. And our purpose here at Sicangu Co is to improve the lives of our Sicangu Lakota people. And we do that through the guidance of the 7-Gen vision, which you'll hear a lot about. And that imagines the type of world that we'd like to see our descendants living in 175 years from now. So we are accomplishing this now, currently, through our efforts in economic development and the revitalization of our ways of life, such as our Lakota language, food sovereignty, our Lakota health, Lakota education, and of course, bringing our Tatanka back. So I want to bring someone else on that I'm sure many of you are probably familiar with, and she is actually in charge of our donor relations, and her name is Brandy Charging Eagle.
Hi. Dayaya here. Lila Mbetu Kinwashde. Brandy Charging Eagle Imachiapia. Welcome everybody. I'm glad to see everybody hopping on. Today is a good day. My name is Brandy Charging Eagle, as you've heard. I'm sure almost all of you have spoke with me before, but I'm the individual giving manager here with Sicangu Co. I work as the liaison between Sicangu Co, individual donors and potential donors, and I just strive to create and strengthen that relationship. I also collaborate with teams to create and execute strategic fundraising campaigns throughout the year. Like for example, coming soon this spring, you guys will hear about our exciting home garden campaign with our house initiative. You'll probably hear more about that with Katrina here soon. But just as importantly, I'm a wife, a mother. I was born, raised, and reside here on the Rosebud Reservation as a member of the tribe. And just any questions, comments, opinions, visiting sessions can be brought to me. My information's here for you all. So if you don't already have it, And I love my job so much because of you guys. So don't hesitate to reach out, and we're very appreciative of all of you. So we'll carry on, make it a good one. Thank you guys again for hopping on.
Thanks, Brandy. So we'll actually dive into the best part. Let's go ahead and get the presentation started. You're going to hear about each of our initiatives on the nonprofit side. So first up, I'd like to bring up TJ Heiner, who is the range manager out at our Woolakota Buffalo Range.
Thank you, Jillian. Hello, everybody. My name is TJ Heinert. I am a Rosebud Sioux Tribal member, and I live on site here on the Woolakota Buffalo Range. As you can see on your screen, there's a couple bullet points, just some information about the ranch. It is a 28,000 acre regenerative program. We started bringing animals on ground in October of 2020, and we started at 0 animals. And as of today, we are just a touch over 1,000 head of buffalo. So definitely moved in a fast pace in the last 3 years. I'm very excited to continue the work that we do. Looking forward to seeing our herd grow and be successful. One of the main things that I love to talk about with bringing our relatives back home is watching them be a buffalo. And that sounds simple, it sounds silly, but watching them do what they do on a daily basis, it loops back to what we were taught growing up in our culture. Everything that we know in our culture today was taught to us from our buffalo relatives. Anything that we do to run our oyate, how we take care of our people, and how to utilize the ground. Everything that they know and do, we learn from that. So going out talking about that, I always like to visit about the rebuilding that ecosystem. We use that word a lot because it means a lot to us. Bringing our relatives back, that's recreating that ecosystem that was lost over time. They're bringing back native grasses that haven't been in this area for quite some time. They're rejuvenating that ground, that soil, the way their hoofs are shaped. They actually implement that grass seed back into the land. They aerate the land, and then as they graze throughout the property, they're actually fertilizing as they go and as they move along in their grazing patterns. So bringing that back into play, that brings back in our medicinal medicines, our cultural teachings, everything that we see fit that we incorporate out here on the ranch. So that has a lot of community development, youth development, community harvest for our food sovereignty initiative program that helps get that meat back into our cultural diet, into our people's diet. And that's going to help kind of save us over time. Definitely looking forward to more infrastructure and keeping things on the fast pace to get things accomplished out here is definitely a huge step in the right direction. So I'm definitely grateful to be here today and talk about what we do as a whole, and looking forward to everything in the future that this ranch has to bring to the table. So definitely grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for joining today. I always like to kind of end with talking about, sorry about that, forgetting where I was at. So what I always like to tell people when they do come out is when our buffalo are strong and healthy, we become strong and healthy as a people. And that really touches strong with me because I see what these animals do on a daily basis. I pretty much see each and every one of them, and just seeing the impact that they have in a cultural standpoint is amazing. They have a lot of connection with the youth. When they come out for harvest, they definitely are intrigued. They're very involved, and they ask a lot of great questions. So I'm looking forward to do a lot more youth development here in the near future. We're going to start doing a lot more camps and on-site visits and stuff like that. So definitely looking forward to that as well. I just want to say thank you again, and I appreciate all the time that we spend together. So thank you guys.
Beautiful, TJ. Thank you so much. Woolakota really is truly the heart of all that we do. the Tatanka are the reason we are still here today. So really appreciate the work that TJ and his team does out at Wolokota. Early on, you're going to see the interconnectedness of all of our work. So with that being said, I'd like to bring on Matt Wilson, who is the director of our Food Sovereignty Initiative.
Hamadak Matt Wilson Machapi. Chanti Washena Petrizapolo. Hi, everybody. My name is Matt Wilson. Like Jillian said, I'm the Food Sovereignty Initiative Director. I've been in my role for almost 5 years now. I'm a tribal citizen, born and raised here on Rosewood. And so a little bit about our initiative. We were launched in 2014. 2024 marks our 10-year anniversary, actually. So pretty excited about that. But our purpose for our initiative is to transform and reimagine our relationship with food. And so we do that in kind of 4 core areas. So we provide small scale and regenerative or indigenous agriculture models. And we are rebuilding a food economy and a food system that keeps dollars here on the reservation. And we also work to empower and educate the community to build movement around food sovereignty. And then this last area is what I call dream keeping. And it's what I like to do is building partnerships with organizations and individuals to bring people together to act and to bring to life this vision that we have. And I just kind of wanted to share with you some of the kind of updates and impacts from this past year with our farm apprenticeship program. We graduated 4 beginning food producers this past year. This is our fourth cohort as part of our 6-year plan, and so we are actually getting ready to launch our next cohort, our cohort 5. So we're excited that we had 4 graduate last year. In terms of our markets, we had a total of 24 tribally supported agriculture or CSA program. We were able to secure 24 of those shares last year. And with your support, we were able to subsidize 4 of those shares. So that means 4 families received TSA shares for free. So that's our food box program. And then in terms of our harvest market or our farmers market, we had a total of 36 community vendors attending our 2024 market season. Of those, excluding ourselves, 3 were produce vendors. And in terms of the members served, 440 of community members came to our market last year. And we also launched a second weekly farmers market site in Rosebud last year. So we were pretty excited about that. In terms of our team development, our team has grown to a staff of 8 Sicangu citizens working for our initiative. This is a really big accomplishment for us because for a brief moment, it was just Michelle Hawkins, our farm manager, and myself for a brief moment. So to grow from 2 people to 8 within the past year has been really great. So gets more of the work done. Also last year, we were able to host our first Sicangu Food Summit, which was an event designed to ignite excitement around food sovereignty movement, as well as share knowledge about our current work being done here on Rosebud to transform our food system. And we plan to continue hosting this event annually. And we hope to expand and include more hands-on learning being done by community knowledge keepers. And lastly, in terms of our garden, which is kind of our star, project, our Keokola Gardens is our 1-acre teaching and production farm. This past year, our team has felt really proud in terms of the amount of quality of food production output, but also in terms of the utilization and the management of our growing spaces there. I'm really proud of Michelle, who's our farm manager. I think she has a really excellent vision, and she's really leaning into her leadership. And with that, we feel like we are ready for our next stage of growth. We are working with a design firm to develop our next kind of growth stage with our expansion plan. So with that, we are getting ready to, design this next stage. So including with that is an additional 7 acres of farmland that will include more perennial food production, more spaces geared for demonstration and community education, additional infrastructure such as greenhouse and classroom, and the pack shed. So we're pretty excited to see, where the future goes and, more to come. And if you want to change to the next slide, you can actually see a preview of what just a small section of the kind of expansion plans look like. And so thank you all for your continued support, and thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Matt. Being able to see that visual there is so exciting for everyone here on the team. I know that. Next, I would like to bring on Kobe Hagan. She works under our Rosebud Farm Company initiative as the Food Systems Director.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be part of the Sicangu Co team. So many talented people I work with, and I'm happy to be here with you all today. My name is Kobe, thanks Jillian, and my role is the Food Systems Director for Rosebud Farm Company. I've been in this role for almost 3 years now, and my background is 20 years of organic and regenerative farm production and a master's in community and regional planning for food systems. So I'm very happy to be working with food sovereignty in the Sicangu Co community. Rosebud Farm Company, just to give a brief overview, is a for-profit farming enterprise of Sicangu Co. Within it, we manage 2,500 acres total of dry land and irrigated farm fields. Our staff are just two, myself and the agricultural manager, Bud Colomb. And he does all the on-the-ground work, and he started this summer, and he's doing a wonderful job. A few things to highlight about the last couple years. RFC operates as sharecropping currently. We sharecrop the dry land and irrigated farmland with local farmers to generate revenue, and that revenue in turn supports Sicangu Co operations. Over the last 5 years, we transitioned 1,400 acres to certified organic farmland to try to bring the land practices closer to Sicangu Co, Sicangu values. It's really important to do that for a long-term vision that we have for food and production. We have also conducted feasibility studies with some wonderful grants we received to pinpoint local, tribal, and regional demands for local food, from bison to eggs to dried goods. And with the return to more holistic farm practices and our recent grants for specialty crops and water conservation infrastructure, we are shifting our focus over the next 5 years to develop ways to directly manage the fields, as well as build our tribal grower capacity through apprentices for medium and large scale farm production. We are working across within RFC. I work closely with Matt and TJ and some other people within food stewardship of Sicangu Co. But we're working across sectors to really build farm to market access, whether it is the delicious meals coming from FSI graduates or precious bison meat coming from Wolakota, or a substantial amount of organic squash coming from RFC for baby food and other like products. We have a lot to share with the local community as well as others beyond. We are almost finished with our 5-year food sovereignty roadmap and would be happy to share the final version with you all once it is complete. And we are looking for funding to jumpstart the objectives within those 5 years, to jumpstart the farm to table potential we know will be successful. This includes farm infrastructure for small and large scale farming, like equipment, seed and grain storage, irrigation, work sheds, etc. We need and want to develop the on-site processing facilities for our wonderful things that we produce, like meat processing facility and a commercial grade food drying and processing facility. And there are many others. This is just the beginning. We are excited to be a conduit for tribal food stewards, from ranchers, farmers, to foragers, and beyond. So thank you for letting me share that.
Thanks, Kobe. Next up, we have Sage Fastdog, who is the director of Wakaija Ki Tokeachi, which is our Lakota immersion school.
Now, kami kakyapi, Jihoka Shikaliza and Macha Apollo, and they were sharing not a choose Papalo. My name is Sage Fastdog, and I greet everyone with a good heart. Today I want to talk about education, and the education director. for the Sicangu CDC. The initiative that I'm in charge of and taking lead of is to transform how is education delivered on the reservation. And through your efforts in helping us do that, you've allowed me to be in a space to take lead in a direction that not everybody has a chance to do that. Largely because South Dakota does not have charter school legislation. So if I'm not able to do what I'm able to do with an existing system that works. So with support, we're in year 4 of our school, and at our school, our large focus is preparing our kids to be academically prepared, to be holistically well, to be secure in their identity, and also to be fluent in their language. Our goal is to have a K-5 elementary program. Each year we enter one class at a time. We're taking our time in doing it so that when we're fully established, we have a sound elementary program that is able to help our kids be prepared with those 4 pillars. The other thing is that we're also breaking through a wall that was put up since the time whenever reservations were started, in that community members should be allowed to take lead in how schools should be delivered, the type of education that should be delivered. So we're also recognized as a community-based school, and that means that community members, when you go into our school, our curriculum will reflect the community that our children are from. Also, the language they speak will be reflected in that too. We believe that is how our kids will move forward to be contributors to our economy, but also to remember where our first economy came from, and to understand where they come from. So that in that way, as they're leading in the direction towards the future, they'll always have a strong heart. They'll always be strong-minded to be able to take on anything. But first, we must build from where we started and be very mindful of how we prepare our kids for the future. So that is what kinds of people in the Western education, they call it student-centered. But that is the model that we have always had as Lakota, is to always have our children first, thinking in the future, which ties into the story that Sarah has shared in the beginning of our presentation. So again, I want to thank you for the contributions to allow us to take our initiative, to allow people like myself to take initiative in our own community, to take leadership back, take our space back in our communities to own education. So, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sage. Next up, you're going to hear from Sarah Hart once again, who's the director of Lokolia Waonia.
Midakiapi, Sarah Hart Imachiapi. I am the program manager for Lokolia Waonia. Just to give you a little bit background on the program, Lokolia Waonia is a paid 3-year program initiated in 2021, providing salary positions with benefits for 7 tribal members to learn the Lakota language. The program centered on developing conversationally fluency in Lakota and reinforcing Lakota lifeways. Also included is a dedicated fluent Lakota educator, collaboration with local entities such as school districts, tribal programs, and internships facilitates Lakota language courses and cultural teachings. Learners actively contribute to the building of the curriculum and have contracts for teaching the Lakota language to our children and community, which is part of the workforce readiness program. The assessment methodology follows American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages standards, incorporating oral proficiency interviews conducted by the fluent Lakota educator. The program has secured an initial small grant for operating costs and is actively seeking financial sustainability. The Lokolia Waonia program goes beyond language initiatives with a focus on creating children's books in Lakota, organizing a summer immersion camp for teenagers. The aim of the immersion camp is to offer direction and grounding for teenagers in their identity as Lakota tribal members. Situated in one of the most poorest counties in the state, the program addresses a common sentiment among the youth who express a lack of activities and availability to learn to them. The summer immersion camp serves as a vital initiative to fill this void by providing meaningful engagement for teenagers through cultural activities, language learning, and community building. The camp not only reinforces Lakota language skills, but also strengthens cultural connections. This holistic approach not only addresses the linguistic aspect, but also contributes to the overall well-being and sense of identity among the youth, fostering a positive impact within the community. The Lokolia Wainia program has transformative impact on our youngest learner, Natalie Bordeaux, who initially joined with little knowledge of her identity and career goals. Through the program, Natalie has found a grounding in her identity as a Lakota a woman. Not only has she become proficient in Lakota language, but she has also taken on contracts to teach the language to both adults and children within the community. Furthermore, Natalie's journey with Lokolia Wa'onia has inspired her to pursue her higher education. She has recently enrolled in college with a major in education. This success story exemplifies the program's ability not only to revive the Lakota language, but to also empower individuals like Natalie in their personal and professional development. And Lokolia Wa'onia, when translated, basically is breathing life back into the language. So I just wanted to, in closing, take the time to thank all of you for your partnership and becoming a good relative and making all these initiatives in our ecosystem possible, and making a space where I love to come to work. I have space where it's okay to be Lakota, even in the workspace. So thank you for your time. Pilamaya.
Thanks, Sarah. Next up, bring on Katrina Fuller, who is the director of our Sicangu Health Initiative. Katrina, you're on mute.
Hi, everyone. Okay. My name is Katrina, and I am the director of SHI. Our team is made of Frankie Young, Ashlyn Plooster, our Vista Jessica Dillon, and our two current Sinte Gleska University business interns, Madonna Sitting Bear and Emily Barnett. The Sicangu Health Initiative started in April of 2020. My long-term vision for our Sicangu Oyate has always been to see us live and become a blue zone where we have longer lives, longer healthy lives. And here on Rosebud, we have all the pieces to create a blue zone. They just need to be brought together. Our purpose under the Sicangu Health Initiative is to support families in building Wichozani, good health, and Wodakie, supportive relationships, and becoming a good relative through hands-on support. Over the last 3 years, we have worked in many areas through the pandemic, and through constant community input, we are now focused on 4 key areas. Our weekly after-school program, where we are now in our 2nd year and support over 27 students per week. I hope to one day expand this into a second site. Our 2 6-month family and adult wellness coaching produce voucher programs, where we are now in the 3rd year and will have served over 75 adults and their families by the end of 2024. Over the next few years, I hope to create more local resources for our participants that supports their food and recipe access, adding buffalo meat to our vouchers, indigenous meal kits, and adding more experiential services for our participants. Next, we have our home garden project. and our newest Wild Foods and Medicines Harvesting Project. We also provide youth internship opportunities and support tribally led community events and our community buffalo harvest. Through our community members, we have been able to grow in ways I have never imagined. And when we started our home garden project, we had supported one community member with her garden that had it destroyed and tools stolen a couple years before. Through our support, she was able to start her garden, receive new tools, seeds, and starter plants. Last year, when we didn't know where we were going to get our starter plants for 65 families, she was one of the 4 community members who stepped up to help grow them. She gardens every year now and has even added on chickens. We are in the 4th season of our home garden project and will have served over 200 families and children and elders after 2024. Over the next few years, I hope to find a sustainable source of compost for our traditional gardens because of the poor soil health in our area, supporting more elders and pathways for young children in gardening. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. We could not have done all of this over the last 4 years without our community members, our partners, donors, and the supportive relationships we've built over this time. So Pilama Yaye, and thank you.
Amazing job, Katrina. Thank you. Next up, we'd like to bring on Brittany Heisley, who is the Director of Tatanka Funds, which is our CDFI.
Uli Hasty, Nigan, Brittany Davadoa. Hello all, welcome. My name is Brittany Heisley. I just want to thank you all for being here with us today. As they mentioned, I am the Executive Director of Tatanka Funds. We are the Emerging Community Development Service financial institution. As a financial institution, it is our goal to provide services that encourage self-sufficiency and to promote economic development and wealth building. At Tatanka Funds, we offer specialized training and technical assistance to homeowners, entrepreneurs, small businesses, and individuals seeking credit building services. Our development services complement our lending products that we offer here on Rosebud, which are agricultural loans, small business loans, and consumer loans. Our bread and butter of our program is our financial education courses. That is financial literacy for families and young adults, homeownership education, and coaching, individual coaching for whether that be for personal, finance, business, agricultural, or homeownership. What I would like to highlight that we have done in the past year, about 2 years, and are trying to strengthen is our partnerships. For the past 2 years, we have been working with Santa Iglesia University as volunteer income tax assistants. We have found that there was a gap that a lot of our members needed help filing their tax income. And this is also a step for homeownership that is required. We have partnered with the tribe in their 100 Homes project. We are the leaders in their homeownership education service for the community. We are currently helping them develop down payment assistance program or utilizing the down payment assistance programs that we have with other partners. And we are also offering any technical assistance needed for the homeownership process. We are building our construction internship program, which is through South Dakota Native Homeownership Coalition. We are this summer expanding it where it's no longer just for construction businesses, but hoping to place interns in HVAC service, electrical work, plumbing, and water and sewer. Our newest partnership that we have done is with OWISTA. We have joined OWISTA in their HUD networking to expand HUD certified counseling for our area. All of these partnerships are successful because of our 2 full-time employees, and that I want to highlight. Charlie Colomb is our program manager. She oversees the program development, offering financial coaching, and supporting our evening and weekend financial courses. Natasha Eaglestar is the loan officer. She does all the underwriting and support with any of the loan application. She also offers financial coaching, and during the weekday, she does the financial courses. We have a good, strong board of directors of 7 members, and they have helped with us and set forth our strategic plan and operation for the next 5 years. Most of our impact is definitely individual through financial coaching and our technical assistance. Last month, though, because we have been gaining a lot of interest in the community, we were requested to share the importance of finance in the process of estate and will planning for the tribe. We're also working this semester with the Todd County High School in Mission for the class of Jobs for America graduates and offering our youth and young adult financial education. One of the things that has really sparked interest is we are doing a homeownership expo on April 18th of this year. This expo is going to bring in every piece of the puzzle that is needed for homeownership. Lenders, appraisers, tribal land department, tribal housing services, construction businesses, water and sewer. And I'm sure I'm missing some of the other missing pieces. It's a long list. Each piece is going to speak. We're also going to tell the history of the land and then also the process of homeownership on tribal land. Our long-term goals and visions is to build a sustainable nonprofit Native CDFI organization, create a thriving loan fund that serves the Rosebud communities, procure funding to support healthy lending and programmatic aspirations, and to provide community members of Rosebud with quality and responsive training and technical assistance. I really do appreciate your guys' time. We really appreciate your support and your prayers through this time. We are growing and we're believing in a thriving community of the Rosebud Reservation. Thank you.
Very well said, Brittany. Thank you. Next up, we would like to bring on Jessica Larson, who is the Director of our Learning and Development Department.
Thanks, Jillian. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jessica Larson, and I am the Learning and Development Director here at Sicangu. I've worked here at Sicangu for about 6.5 years, but the Learning and Development Department is actually relatively new. We were established in the fall of 2021, but since that time, we have collaborated with different departments within our Sicangu ecosystem and other local organizations to bring forth some really exciting projects and work. So the Learning and Development Department manages workforce development programs within Sicangu. These programs empower all members of the Sicangu Lakota Oyate to create a better world for future generations. And our audience for these programs include youth, college students, and emerging professionals. So we have 5 different programs that we currently run within our department. And within our department, we have 2 full-time staff and then myself. So we have Olivia Woodenknife as a program coordinator and Alexis Whitehat as a youth internship coordinator. We also have a AmeriCorps Vista, who's Lakeisha Nadeau. She's serving in a 1-year space to be an outreach coordinator for the Vista program. And we also have a SGU intern who's Nebraska Millard, and she's working with us for the spring 2024 semester. So with our department, like I said, we have 5 different programs that we run. We run 2 summer youth programs that have a shared purpose of increasing the perception of the opportunities and supporting the next generation of leaders to grow both professionally and personally. We have a college internship, which is a partnership with a local college and university, Sente Galeshka University. And this opportunity provides job training for current SGU students. We also have 2 programs that we refer to as like our emerging professionals program. So our first one is our AmeriCorps Vista program. Sicangu is the sponsor of multiple AmeriCorps Vista projects across Rosebud. And then we also have the iLearn project, which stands for Immersive Learning Experiences and Rural Networking, which is professional development for local educators that supports them to develop land-based and culturally relevant lessons for K-12 classrooms. So the common thread that unites each of these programs is a shared vision of empowering our community with knowledge and skills to be happy, helpful, and healthy at work and in the community. What I believe sets our approach to workforce development apart is that it's person-centered, which can be seen in the holistic development opportunities that we offer in each of our different programs. And so while each program focuses on technical workplace skill development, each program also intentionally incorporates opportunities for participants to grow their physical, spiritual, and emotional wellness. And so some examples of how we include these different growth opportunities are we offer equine therapy for different program participants, and that's across our summer programming and our college internships, as well as our VISTA program. We have social emotional intelligence workshops where we teach just the concept of social emotional intelligence and then like specific skills that people can incorporate in their daily lives. And we've also done, we've partnered with a local community member to do family tree workshops in some of our summer programming as well. And so in this last year, in 2023, our 7-Gen internship, which is a partnership with Sicangu Nation Employment and Training Program, or SNETP, we received the Outstanding Employer Award for our 7-Gen internship, which is one of our summer programs, at the National Indian and Native American Employment and Training Conference, or NINATEC. We partnered with Sicangu Health Initiative for one of our summer programs, and our participants built 66 gardens for community members with elders and children. And then we are also invited to attend the I Can Be the Change Global Summit in Ahmedabad, India, which is a youth changemakers conference for children from all around the world. And so when I think about the vision of this work, like a medium-term vision in the next 3 to 5 years, what I see is both of our summer programs are internationally recognized as premier youth development opportunities, and alumni of our programs have regular opportunities to participate in national and international opportunities, as well as local and regional. I see Sicangu is recognized as a leading tribal college and university internship site, and students from across the region come here to intern with us to learn, again, not only those technical skills, but some of those other more holistic development skills as well. Our Sicangu apprenticeship program is launched that focuses on specific sectors of construction, ag, and education. And we have 15 graduates who have completed this program. Our emerging professionals cohort is launched in partnership with SNETP, and this program empowers community members with high impact skills that are transferable to any career path. And we have graduated our first cohort of participants through that program. And finally, I look forward to working with our team here within Sicangu and our other local partners to explore launching community learning cohorts, which would be like learning and informational sessions that would be open to all community members. And so again, those 5 things are some of the things that I think about when I think about the medium-term impact or vision of this work. And so again, thank you all for joining us today, and thank you for your support.
Amazing, Jessica. Thank you so much. Next up, I would like to bring on Michael Prate, also known as Mike. He is the director of our Community Development Corporation, which encompasses all of our nonprofit initiatives.
I wore my button-up shirt today, so I can go by Michael. Good to see everybody. My name's Mike Prate. I am the managing director for Sicangu CDC, where I support the food sovereignty, health, and education initiatives that you got to hear about earlier. But another aspect of the work I do and what I'm here talking about today is the Keawakapala Woi Chagyapi, which is the Turtle Creek green or regenerative development. This is a project that was the first project I was introduced to when I was hired in 2015. And it is set in a 590-acre tract of land just immediately west of Mission, South Dakota, on tribal trust land. And the idea behind the project was tribal leadership back in 2012 gave the authority and the control of that land and the directive to our company to really go and do something amazing, something that was going to benefit the entire Sicangu Ayate economically and also culturally and from a community perspective to do something that would change the direction and bring about a positive future now and generations from now for the entire community. Where we're at with this project, it's been a long and winding road, but we have picked up a ton of momentum in the last 10 years. And in the last two specifically, we really are building a good pace for work happening out on the Kewakapala site. We're currently focused on what we're calling phase one, which is the 80 acres immediately surrounding Turtle Creek Crossing, which is the tribally owned grocery store that exists on site, as well as the wetlands that gives the site its name. Turtle Creek is the name of the wetlands there. Included within that phase one is a number of amazing projects. The garden expansion that Food Sovereignty mentioned is just one of them, but also 10 single family homes that are situated on site, the Sicangu Innovation Center, and then a number of other retail and commercial projects that are happening out on that site. So I'm going to deep dive before I turn it over to my colleague, Kanishi Chance. I'm going to talk about the Sicangu Innovation Center a little bit. This is an incredible project that I'm really excited about. This kind of came through a number of conversations just in the office, kind of thinking about when you go to cities, they have all these amazing kind of centralized resource hubs, things that'll support entrepreneurs, that'll support economic development, that are supporting people accessing community resources, kind of hubs of innovation, of thinking, of energy where people can gather. And sitting around the office one day, we were kind of thinking, well, what would a Sicangu version of that look like in a rural environment, a really indigenous thinking, kind of indigenous forward building. And the idea for the Sicangu Innovation Center was born. Over the last year and a half, we've completed a feasibility study for that project, really laying out the logic of how we will do business incubation to support Sicangu entrepreneurs in a few key areas, namely food, construction, agriculture, and arts and crafts makers kind of spaces. And building on that feasibility study, we were able to secure some funding that has actually started the design of that building. So by the fall of 2024, we should be completed with not actual construction documents, but it would be for the initial design development. So about the midway point of the design for that building, something that would allow us to go out to bid for the building itself, as well as all the infrastructure designed as well. In the meantime, we're actively recruiting for staff to start working on some of the key projects around business incubation courses, as well as a number of the other community elements that'll be in that center. Please reach out to know more. This is an extremely exciting project, trying to keep it tight because we're running tight on time, but I'm happy to follow up for whoever looking to know more. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your donation and your support. And I will pass it over to Chance and Jillian to keep us going on housing. Thank you.
Take it away, Chant.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chance Renville. I am the project manager and housing coordinator for the Kewakapala initiative. I've been with the organization for 7 to 8 months now. I'm really excited to be a part of the team and really excited to be a part of the project. We're at the forefront of some really big things, a lot of work going on in the background right now. Some of the things that a lot of folks don't see, which is a lot, but we're really getting to that point where we're able to move forward and get houses built. So that's really exciting. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the model home that's currently under construction just north of Turtle Creek grocery store. A little bit of an update on that. So that's under construction. Been having some good progress on that so far. Estimated completion date for the model home is in June. So really, it's been a good process so far. Just getting the lay of the land, working with the different contractors who are local and really, yeah, feeling that out and getting into the groove and getting that home built. So that's been exciting. A little more status updates for the development. We're also getting the remaining 9 home sites prepped for the development. So there's going to be 9 additional homes in a circle very close to where the model home is going up. So we're getting those prepped right now. So once we get to the point where we have some home buyers on board, we can just move right into construction and really keep moving along smoothly. So that's in the works right now. We're also actively recruiting home buyers through previous engagements and some of the other events that we've put on. We've identified 60 plus interested individuals, which is very exciting. And I think it really speaks to the need for homes. You know, we look across the reservation, not only Rosebud, but Ocheti Shakoi, and it's just a shortage across the board. So that's interested individuals are really speaking to that need. Along with that, we currently have 40,000 in AHP subsidy for the first 5 qualifying individuals for the development out there. So a great opportunity to, you know, get individuals off on a good foot in the home buying process. And yeah, just really excited to be able to offer that for folks. Some more updates. We have multiple options to choose from for home design. So we have one right now that's available. We're also in the process of getting another home design completed. With those home designs, we're offering a couple of different bedroom sizes. So 2, 3, and 4 bedroom sizes, really trying to fit the needs of the community. You know, some folks might need a 2 bedroom and somebody might need a 4 bedroom. So really trying to make sure that we're thoughtful in that process when we're, you know, working through home designs and really offering families what they need. For this year, we're hoping to at least construct 2 homes out on site. Ideally, we would be moving on 4 to 5 of them, but you know, that's kind of the minimum for this construction season is at least getting 2 homes constructed and getting families moved in out on site. So we're really excited about this upcoming construction season right around the corner. It's warming up and perfect conditions to get out there and build. So we're excited about that. Some of the impact pieces that, you know, the development will have, I think from an individual standpoint, just being able to create a safe, healthy, and affordable housing for families is very important. And I think it really translates to a better quality of life for the family themselves. And that doesn't stop there. It has effects within the community as well. So, you know, it's not just the family themselves, but there's benefits much farther than that for the community as well. So economic impact through the development, just providing jobs for contractors, you know, trying to get a workforce development piece built into this whole project is important for us. Really wanting to build up our local community and the contractors and, you know, the things that they're able to offer. And also working with our sister company, Rosebud Construction, looking to build out a self-performing crew through them. So then we're able to just, you know, go to them. They're able to construct the homes from start to finish. And ideally, that's the point that we're going to be able to get to through this. So a lot of opportunities with this development and moving into some other impacts. I think environmentally, you know, we're trying to source most of our materials locally, tapping the forestry program through the tribe and really seeing where we can source some of our materials through them. Not only is it already on site and we're not having to like ship materials to the site from Rapid or Pier or somewhere far away, you know, we're producing those things locally, which, you know, helps the environment as well. So we're excited about the potential there. And just, yeah, I think kind of jumping back a little bit, we are pursuing a wall panel production facility, and we're hoping to produce energy efficient wall panels. And through that process too, we're creating jobs. We're assembling these wall panels right on site, and we're building the homes with them. So that's creating more jobs. That's going to reduce the construction time drastically. So just a lot of benefits to the things that we are pursuing with the development and some of the other workforce opportunities that we have going on with the construction here. And I just wanted to touch on a few of the goals for the initiative. Just continuing to use our recently completed housing study as a guide to really propel us and keep us moving forward in our fundraising efforts and just building homes for the community. And I think through that process too, just looking at additional options for getting families into homes, whether that's rental units, maybe it's apartments, rent to own. So like a lot of those things are on the table right now, and things that we're looking at and exploring and wanting to offer down the line. A little bit more on the wall panel factory, because I feel like it's a really important project for us, a really big opportunity, and I'm just excited about it and just wanted to share that we did submit our application for that and should be hearing back soon. And if we are awarded for that, we're looking at an 8-month construction timeline to have that facility up and running. And hopefully, by the end of this year, that's in place and we're able to move forward with that. And I think that's a really big goal and vision for the initiative and what we're trying to accomplish as a whole for the development here. I just want to say thanks for your time this afternoon. We're at the very beginning of this project and development, and I just hope you all continue to support and take this journey with us. It's an exciting time and lots happening, and just want to say thank you.
Very amazing. Chance, thank you so much for sharing all of that. Really exciting things happening at Keowak-Pala. Last up, I would like to bring back Clay to the conversation. He's going to speak to some of the focus areas of the economic development within our ecosystem.
Thanks, Jillian, and thanks everybody on the team. This is how the work's getting done here with these talented individuals. Your support helping getting this done. In the ecosystem, it all started with REDCO, which is the Rosebud Economic Development Corporation, which is the economic arm of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. That is where the for-profit entities are located. As we just heard from Chance and Michael, at Keowak-Pala building houses. One of our subsidiaries is Rosebud Construction, was to help focusing on that, as well as building, stuff for the tribe, for the federal government in the area. But we have a number of other entities, such as Sicangu Propane, Rosebud Office Solutions, Rosebud Facilities Management, to name some, which focus on our local markets, providing, needed services for our citizens and trying to keep that money within the community. Prior to that, a lot of these services came from off-reservation entities that would, take our money and, it would leave with the sale. So keeping that there, employing our people, providing, competition for those people, keeping good prices. So, all of this put together makes up the Sicangu ecosystem, which is just amazing. As you could probably hear from, everybody talking about, all of them working together is an amazing thing. A lot of these things were put up for a single purpose, but like the school with the Buffalo Range, they collaborate, they work together. The health initiative, food sovereignty, it all comes together to help make the reservation a much better place for our citizens and create more opportunities. So other big things that we have coming up over the next 10, 15, 100 years, what we look out for is the continued development of Keowak-Pala. We're able to work with a international consulting firm to work on how best we better the economy, doubling GDP, getting to full employment. A great thing about that was a lot of the things they came up with were stuff that we're already doing, so we knew we were on the right path. But the things that they really focused on was commercial energy production. We are actively working on that now. The tribe has created its own for-profit energy utility. We're working to get funding for that to help create revenue for the tribal government and create jobs for our people. A bison-centered meat processing facility to go along with the Wolacota Buffalo Range, and construction, focusing on local housing and then also branching out to federal work in West or South Dakota and the entire region. That these things will not only help with income, help feeding our people, but create jobs. With a lot of the stuff that needs to be created here, construction is going to be a key part of that. And that's one that we will continue to work with, like through Jessica and SNETP, as she mentioned, in helping create new jobs, but working with them, the local schools, the university, to help make sure that our tribal citizens are prepared for these jobs. With construction, I think that can go into people creating their own businesses, such as plumbing, electrical, whatnot, that what we want to see. So as a lot of great things going on here. Can't do it without the team. I'm so glad they had the chance to present to you, show what they're doing, and almost keep it under an hour. It's quite impressive with all that we have going on. So again, thank you so much for your support. It is so needed and so welcome. Again, thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Clay. All right, everyone. So lastly, we wanted to finish up with a very powerful video. I think this will give you some insight and some great visuals as to what our community looks like. So I'm really excited for you to see this here.
Being Lakota is it's being proud of who you are. It's being a good friend. It means that you're going to share the teachings that you were taught from your family. It's almost like a responsibility. Be a good relative. But it's a challenge.
If you want to completely subjugate and oppress another society, one of the first things that you do is you control their food. Beginning with the mass slaughter of the buffalo, about $2 trillion worth of wealth has been extracted from our people. We still tried to maintain some of our hunting practices, but we were still dependent on treaty rations. Food and the access to our treaty rations was used as a means of control. In order for us to regain our power, we have to regain our food.
The current state of the food system here is that there are really only 3 main grocery stores here on the reservation. The community members there have to make round trips of 20 to 40 miles just to get to a convenience store or a grocery store. The produce that you find isn't the best quality. People also live in multifamily households. They're more concerned with quantity versus quality. And so a lot of times people are having to get whatever they can on their budget. And unfortunately, what's cheapest right now is a lot of processed foods. Traditionally, Lakota people weren't known for being farmers. We were known for being hunters and gatherers. I would say that we are making farming a new tradition for us. So our 7-gen plan is how we see everything playing out in the next 7 generations. And how do we prepare for that? How does our food look? Where's it coming from?
The concept of 7 Gen is ancient, referring back to the genius of many indigenous populations, that they were always thinking about the future. 7 Gen is one of those concepts that really have the potential to create the kind of environment, the thinking, and the hope that our communities need.
Because we started with food first, it was really easy for us in terms of planning for the first generation, which is the next 30 years. The Sicangu Food Sovereign Initiative is meant to help our community members learn how to grow, produce, harvest, and prepare their own foods. We're working with some new entrepreneurs who are part of our Beginning Farmer and Rancher Development Program, who are really interested in starting their own business. Passing down this information has to start with our youth. So we're always really excited to get youth up in the garden area and teach them how to grow their own food, how to harvest it.
The garden is a place for gathering and for teaching. We also have a geodesic, geothermal greenhouse.
We were able to grow some of these exotic foods that, we would normally have to get shipped in from other countries and other parts of the United States. And so for us, this is just a way to reclaim some of that system that we aren't normally a part of. And what we're trying to do now also is adding the regenerative piece to it and making sure that we're not putting chemicals into the ground. We're always really trying to leave the land better than how we found it. Food is medicine. And so we are really trying to change people's mindsets and perspective around food and really trying to build that connection with food again. It's really supposed to feed your soul, your emotional health, your spiritual health. That concept is what we call Wichozani. So it's like all-encompassing health.
Our vision to create a sustainable, regenerative, culturally appropriate food system for our people in the region by growing our own food, by embracing regenerative agricultural practices, by bringing buffalo back. Those are the kinds of solutions that the entire planet needs. And if we can do it here, in the third poorest county in the entire United States, we can for sure do it anywhere in North America. And I believe that we can do it anywhere in the world.
So in 2050, I really see a lot of housing projects. I can see more people doing buffalo harvest. I can see schools having community gardens and greenhouses. The orchard that we had planned really blooming and blossoming. Grandkids working with their grandmothers and preparing a meal for the family. I would probably be cooking with indigenous ingredients. In the year 2050, I see my people being food sovereign, being happy, being healthy, being good relatives.
Being Lakota is it's being a good friend. It's being proud of who you are. Be a good relative.
Well, everyone, this concludes our time together for today. I honestly wish that we had more time. But again, a big thank you from the entire Sicangu Code team for your support and your belief in our ecosystem. We hope that you leave today with a better understanding of our interconnectedness of our work. You can expect a follow-up from Brandy, who many of you already know. She's just an amazing colleague who's got the best personality. So I'm really glad that you all get to work closely with her. Also want to remind you that you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We also have a weekly newsletter that goes out so you can get consistent updates. And again, thank you for spending your afternoon with us today. Doksha, okay, everyone. We'll see you.